Hi, I'm Jane, and I'm back at school now, and I just kind of wanted to talk about something that happened a couple days ago. We have, at my school, we have chapel 3 days a week, and this last Friday we took communion as an entire student body. And it's weird to take communion as such a large group of people, and we all kind of file down and get our communion and go back up. And as a pastor's kid, I feel like I've taken communion a lot, and I mean, sometimes I make jokes about the communion wafers because they're basically pieces of cardboard that you dunk in grape juice and then you eat it. And as I was thinking about communion, it made me think about when I was something that happened to me when I was in junior high. We would have what we called lunchtime communion. We would get one of those little juice cups or juice boxes when we went to lunch at school, and then we would take a crust of bread, like a hot dog bun or a roll or whatever we happened to have, and we would take communion with a little juice cup and a crust of bread. But the thing is, it was a serious thing, but it wasn't, having communion in a busy cafeteria like that. But that's the thing about communion, is it doesn't matter if you had it in a really loud, busy cafeteria, or if you had it in a cathedral with a fancy silver chalice and a fancy bread. It doesn't matter if you use those really cheap, like cardboard flavored wafers, or if you have a nice fancy loaf of bread. If you use juice or wine. It doesn't matter if you are rich or poor, because communion isn't about being fancy. It's not about being supercilious. No, it's not a word. It's about being in the moment. Because the thing is, the bread and the wine are symbols of Jesus' body and blood. So it doesn't matter what you use as those symbols. If it's grape juice or wine or bread or wafers, if it's fancy or cheap, because people all over the world partake in that symbol. I mean, I've partook of it in several different situations. Because when Jesus first did communion, I really doubted it was something fancy. You see, he took the leftovers from dinner, the wine and the bread, and said, "Come here, guys. I want to illustrate something for you. This hunk of bread, that's my body. This thing of wine, that's my blood." And what really matters when you take communion is that you think about that. But the amazing part is communion is for everybody. God is for everybody. When Jesus died on that cross, he died for you, for me, for everybody. And so you don't have to do anything to take that body and that blood. God gave it to you as a gift. He sent his son to die on a cross for your sins because he loves you. Isn't that amazing? I think it is. And when we take communion, we remember that sacrifice, the blood, the body that was broken for us. And it doesn't matter how we do it, it doesn't matter where we do it, but we need to remember what happened that night, because we need to remember what God did for us, that he gave his only begotten son to die on a cross so that we might live. take communion, don't do it as a ritual that we do in every single service or that we do every so often. Don't think of it as just a snack you get during church. And it doesn't matter how you do it. Just remember what it represents and the ultimate sacrifice that was made for you.